Hello class, my name is Marcia Argueta and I'll be presenting chapter 4.4 on reflective practice, pages 74 through 75. What is reflective practice? So reflective practice is the process of learning through and from experience towards gaining new insights of self or practice. It allows us to inspect assumptions about everyday practice and supports self-awareness, including critical evaluation of our own responses to practice situations. It is the process of witnessing one's own experience in order to examine it more closely, giving meaning to it, and learning from it. So by that, I could define reflective practice as well by it could involve actively analyzing your everyday actions or experiencing in order to help yourself improve and develop. An example that I would like to give out is an athlete can fully engage in reflective practice by thinking about mistakes that they have made during their training section. So by that athlete can also figure out ways to avoid the same mistakes in the future for their future training sessions. I have also put out a quote from the book, and it states, "A person who reflects throughout his or her practice is not just looking back on the past actions and events, but is taking a conscious look at emotion, experiences, actions, and responses, and using that information to add to his or her existing knowledge base and to reach a higher level of understanding." By Patterson Chapley, 2013. So why reflect? We had the experience by missing out the meaning behind the experience. Reflection is all about the meaning from your everyday experience. Overall, reflecting helps you to develop your own skills and review your effectiveness of it. So based on this chapter, is all of reflective practice all about questions, not in a negative way, but in a more positive way on what you do, why you do it, and then from there you decide whether there's more efficient way or a better way of doing it in the future. So as you reflect, you will have a better understanding on your own role. Depends what role you're in right now or for your work role. So there's two types of reflection, and those two types are reflection in action and reflection on action. One of the type of reflection is reflection action. This type of reflection happens while working. It is like reflecting something that's happening. It is mostly thinking ahead, analyzing, experiencing, and critical responding. It catches the importance of being aware of the decisions you make. So reflection in action, it revolves around using analysis of observation, listing, it could be touching or feeling to solve the problem. I would say it focused more on gaining a new perspective than just solving a problem. Based on the book, I learned that teachers and other professionals practice this level of reflection more as they think ahead, analyzing experience, and also critical responding during their work role. Reflection on action. This type of reflection happens after decisions and actions that have occurred during the situations or event. It is the reflecting after something happens. The focus of this is the discussion, thinking through the subsequent and reflective journals. Also involves a cognitive process of review, analysis, and evaluation. So this type of reflection focus on what needs to change for the future. As I continue, reflection on action is a type of reflection that can be achieved by thinking back through our own experiences, as examine our existing beliefs, and also questioning decisions and the results. This can be expressed through different ways. So it could be expressed through writing reflective journals, auto journals, professional exchanges, peers observation, action research, and keeping professional portfolios. Overall, according to the chapter, this reflection is a deeper level of reflection and more time consuming, which may show that reflection in action is more commonly reported in research than reflection on action. Based on the definition and what they do, practitioners feel more comfortable with thinking in action based upon the intuition and creativity and the technical knowledge. So overall, we reflect during and after the action to improve practices. When we reflect in action, we reflect on the actions that are occurring when the activity is still happening and make changes as they need to be made. And when we reflect on action, we are reflecting on the action that has already occurred fairly after the action has been made. Hopefully you guys understand. Level and skills. There's three types of, reflective practice can be viewed as a synthesis of 1. Reflection, a tool for promoting self-awareness, social awareness, self-expression, and cooperative learning. 2. Self-awareness, a cognitive ability to sense, think, feel, and know through instincts. And 3. Critical thinking, a tool that helps us identify, challenge assumptions, question context, and explore alternatives. So there is 5 levels of reflection. 1 is rapid reflection. It involves automatic and immediate action. 2. Repair involves using client cues to change actions and revive decisions. 3. Require discussing or writing about decisions and actions. 4. Research involves collecting data. And 5. Retheorizing and reformulating involving examining your own practice. So there is many models of reflective practice that have been advanced from different fields of healthcare, including education. So the models of reflective practice is, the 3 basis model of reflective practice is retrospection, thinking back about situational experience, self-evaluation, using theoretical perspectives to analyze and evaluate actions and feelings related to experience, and reorientation, self-evaluation to impact decisions in the future and similar experiences. So there are so many benefits as it also there are so many benefits of reflective practice as it also helps raise sense of self-awareness, a greater understanding of practice, and an improvement in our own area of practice. So I will read out the benefits of reflective practice. One of them is intensify motivation for new learning. Another one is increased learning from experiences, validation of self-directed learning, additional source of feedback. Another one is improvements of personal and clinic confidence, identification of personal and professional strength of areas of improvement, gaining new knowledge and skills. So although there are many benefits of reflective practice, there are also limitations and challenges towards it. First, I will explain the 3 areas of concerns about reflective practice. The 3 areas of concerns are ethical concern. Reflection can have an emotional impact on the person reflecting. Professional concern, when reflective practice is managed inappropriately and negative practice from the importance of clinical reasoning. And pedagogic, I cannot pronounce the word, concern. The last one, practitioner and students must be developmentally ready to practice with critical reflection. So here is the challenge, which is a reflective practice. So one of them includes lack of understanding about reflective process, not comfortable with confronting challenges, time consuming, anxiety with self-evaluation, confusion about which experience and situation to reflect upon. And lastly, reflection may not be sufficient to sort out clinical issues. Okay, so why is reflective practice so difficult? Based on the reading, or based on the what I have learned in this chapter, this is what I think. Well, this is what I see how reflective practice is so difficult. This is I stated it can be difficult because for certain people, finding a physical location to be reflected can be challenging. In order to have an easy reflective practice, you will need to be a certain mindset. You will need to be in a certain mindset to practice reflection, as it can be difficult to find a good and available place for it. There are certain people who need to be in an environment that is busy, while there are others who will need a place that is quiet and empty. The environment that shows that the environment is very, very
It's
important.
3 o'clock.
Reflective practice is specific both context and individuals. Every practitioner needs to reflect in different ways at different times and also different contexts, which creates different type of reflecting. So therefore, when it comes to reflecting practicing, it is useful for professions as it helps update knowledge and skills overall. Strategies for practicing more reflectively. Always seek feedbacks by asking for it. Ask and answer. Always ask and answer the questions such as what I have learned today. Know your strengths. Identify only positive accomplishment in areas for improvement. See experience objectively by taking away yourself and creating an imagination of the situation on stage, and you are the audience. State things out loud, big voice on what you imagine the other person experiencing. Make sure to keep a journal where you can record your emotions and thoughts. I'm so sorry. So based on Stone Goldman, the most important reflective tools are focus attention or mindfulness, as it draws a huge attention to our experiences, thought analysis, conscious review, writing, which brings the idea to light and highlight theme. Also, reflective writing can also be used as a free writing, journal writing, and expressive writing. This type of tool can help us find a balance between our personal self and professional self. Therefore, reflective practices are used in different ways in professions and for different reasons. When it comes to reflect on our practices, we are better to find ways and learn from our reaction to others. So in conclusion, I have learned a lot in this chapter. It is very important to know exactly what reflective practice is. It enables you to learn what happened to develop and improve your future practice. Reflective practice includes a thoughtful consideration and questions of what we do, what works, and what does not. Professional reflective practitioner practice this by examining hows, the what's of the work, and then they examine the underlying premises, which is what their work is based on. I have an example, for an example is teachers. They improve their practice to meet the learning needs for their students. This helps teachers to promote a positive learning environment. This goes well for speech therapists as well. Overall, reflective practice helps active a better awareness of ourselves, our knowledge and understanding and skills, and as well workplace practices.